The battlefield was silent, but it was not the silence of peace. It was the silence that came after fear, after fire, after chaos. Smoke still floated in the cold wind. Metal pieces and broken weapons covered the ground. And in the middle of all this stood Evan Hall, a human technician who was never supposed to be here. Evan was not a soldier. He fixed machines, cleaned damaged engines, and repaired broken drones. But today, he was trapped in the center of an alien war he did not understand. He raised his hand slowly as heavy footsteps approached him. Out of the smoke stepped a tall, armored figure, an alien huntress from the feared Virak clan. Her name, unknown to him at that moment, was Virala. Her armor glowed like cold silver fire. Her long braided hair hung over her shoulder like a dark rope. And her eyes, sharp, golden, unblinking. She looked like someone who never smiled in her life. Evan swallowed hard. Hi, he whispered, even though it was the worst possible time for jokes. Virala didn't speak. She studied him like a strange animal. Humans were rare in this part of the galaxy. Many aliens thought humans were dangerous, unpredictable, and sometimes insane. Her voice finally came, cold like metal. "Human, state your desire." Evan froze. What? She stepped closer. She was taller, stronger, armored, and held a long spear in her hand. She repeated, with even more force, "State what you desire." It is ritual law. Evan had no idea what she meant. He thought she was threatening him. He thought this was some kind of intimidation game. His heart raced. His mind screamed. And because humans always joke when they are scared. A small, stupid smile appeared on his face. "My desire?" he said softly. Hugh, he meant it as humor. A survival joke. A human reflex, but Virala did not laugh. Instead. Everything changed. Her armor suddenly shifted with a loud click. Glowing lines across her chest plate began to fade. The external locks released. Her spear lowered. Her eyes widened, not with anger, not with fear, but with shock. Then something impossible happened. Virala dropped to one knee. Evan almost fainted. "Hey, what are you doing?" "I was joking." But she wasn't listening. Her voice, which earlier sounded like a blade, now sounded almost gentle, almost shaken. "You have spoken the binding word. I surrender myself." Hate binding word. Evan whispered, panicked. Virala lifted her chin. In our culture, it is the vow of claiming. A warrior gives her life, armor, and loyalty to the one she desires. Or the one who desires her. Evan stared at her like she was describing math from another dimension. "I didn't mean it like that." He yelled softly, waving his hands, but Virala placed her spear on the ground at his feet. A symbol of total surrender. Above them, several alien drones recorded the moment. The footage was already being sent to nearby ships. Soldiers watching the live feed froze in disbelief. Virala, the strongest huntress of her clan, was kneeling to a human, who looked like he didn't even know how to hold a gun. Evan tried to step back, but she looked up at him with those golden eyes. "Say the next words," she whispered. "Say I accept, then the bond is complete." Evan's heart almost stopped. "I'm a technician. I fix engines, not warriors." But Virala bowed her head even lower. "Your command is my life now. I cannot stand until you accept me." "What?" "Stand up, please stand up. Someone will kill me for this." But she didn't move. More armored aliens appeared around them. Instead of attacking, they watched with wide, confused eyes. Some whispered, "He chose her." The human triggered the ancient vow. Is he mad? Does he even know what he did? Evan felt dizzy. "I swear, I don't know what's happening." But Virala's voice came again, soft, loyal, unshaken. "Human. You spoke desire. I belong to you now." The wind grew colder. The sky darkened. And Evan realized with horror, this wasn't a joke for her. This wasn't a joke for anyone watching. A simple human word had just shaken an entire alien warrior culture. And there was no way to undo it. Not anymore. Evan stood frozen while Virala stayed kneeling in front of him. The cold wind moved the smoke around them, but she didn't lift her head. Her posture was unbreakable, as if the ground itself commanded her to stay down. Evan's throat felt dry. "Please," he whispered, "just stand up." Virala didn't. Her voice came low, steady, and loyal. "I cannot rise until you accept me." Evan rubbed his face with both hands. "I don't even know what accepting means. I'm not some alien prince. I'm a repair guy. I clean oil tanks." But to Virala, his words meant nothing. Tradition meant everything. Around them, more alien soldiers gathered, tall figures with glowing armor, holding long spears and silent weapons. Their helmets reflected the battlefield light as they slowly approached. Evan expected them to attack, but instead, they all stopped 10 meters away. No one crossed the invisible circle around Virala. Whispers began spreading like crackling fire. She chose the human. He said it. The claiming word. "The bond has begun." Evan held up his hands. "Guys, I swear, it was a joke." The soldiers stared at him like he had just tried to joke inside a holy temple. One of them stepped forward. His armor was heavier, red-marked, scarred by battles. His voice was rough, full of authority. "Human, you triggered the ritual of desire. You must finish it." Evan blinked. "Finish what? I didn't start anything." But the commander didn't look amused. "If you do not accept her, she will be punished. A broken oath is a crime." Evan's stomach twisted painfully. "So if I don't say I accept, she dies?" Virala spoke softly. "Not just me. You too. Me?" Evan shouted. "You spoke the vow. If the bond breaks, both sides pay with life." Evan almost fell backward. "Oh great, perfect, so my joke can kill us both." Virala finally raised her head a little. Her eyes were steady, brave, loyal, human. "I do not fear death. I only fear dishonor. Accept the bond, and I will serve you. Protect you. Live for you." Evan stared at her. Her words sounded like something from a dramatic movie, not from someone who could rip a tank in half. He whispered, "Why?" "Why me?" Her answer was simple. "Because you said you desired me." Evan grabbed his hair. "I said it because I was scared." But Virala shook her head firmly. "Humans speak truth under fear." The commander stepped closer. "Human, you must decide now. Accept, or the ritual court will intervene." Before Evan could respond, a sudden explosion hit the far hill. The ground shook. Soldiers turned as a shadow rose behind the smoke. A second group of aliens emerged, marked with dark blue armor and sharp, curved shoulder blades. Their leader walked forward, his eyes burning with anger. "Virala!" he shouted. "You betray the clan for a human?" Virala stood instantly between Evan and the enemy, even though she was unarmed. Evan gasped. "Hey, don't stand in front of me like that. I don't want you dying because of me." But Virala spread her arms, shielding him with her body. The blue-armored leader pointed at Evan. "Kill the human and the bond ends." The battlefield erupted into panic. The red-armored soldiers raised their weapons. The blue-armored soldiers raised theirs. A fight was close, too close. Evan whispered shakily, "Why do they hate me already?" Virala didn't take her eyes off the enemy. "Because you changed me. Because I bowed. They believe a human made me weak." Evan wanted to scream. "I didn't change anything. I'm not even strong." Virala answered calmly, "Strength is not your role. Destiny brought you here. My life belongs to you now." Her loyalty scared him more than the blue-armored enemies. The commander shouted, "Protect the bond-bearer." He's under ritual law. But the enemy leader ignored him. He sprinted forward, spear raised. Straight toward Evan. Virala's body tensed. For her, there was only one choice. She charged. The clash was brutal. Sparks flew. Weapons collided. Virala moved like lightning, blocking every strike aimed at Evan. Her golden eyes burned with fierce determination. Evan watched helplessly. He had no weapon, no armor, just fear. But every time he thought the enemy would overpower her, Virala rose again, stronger, more furious. At one point, she was thrown to the ground. Blood dripped from her arm. Evan ran to her. "Stop fighting for me. I'm not worth it." Virala grabbed his collar, pulled him close, and whispered with sharp breath, "You spoke desire. My life is yours. I will not let you fall." Then she pushed him back, stood again, and faced the enemy. The blue-armored leader growled, "Break the bond or die with her." Evan felt something inside him, snapped out. He couldn't let her die. He couldn't let her die for a joke. He stepped forward, voice shaking but loud, "I accept." Every soldier froze. The bond was complete. Virala turned slowly toward Evan, her expression overflowing with something new relief. The battlefield suddenly felt different, and nothing would ever be the same again. The moment Evan said the words, "I accept," everything changed again. The battlefield, silent a second ago, now felt like it was holding its breath. Even the smoke in the air seemed to pause. The soldiers, red-armored, blue-armored, all of them stood frozen, watching the human and the kneeling alien huntress. Virala slowly rose to her feet, not like a warrior preparing for battle, but like a vow lifting her soul. Her golden eyes softened. Her voice, usually cold like metal, now carried warmth Evan had never heard before. "The bond is sealed," she whispered. Evan's heart raced. "I just saved your life. And mine too. But what does this even mean?" The commander stepped forward, speaking with deep respect. "Human, you are now her desire bond. She lives by your command. You are her chosen partner under Virac law." Evan blinked repeatedly. "Partner? Oh, no. You mean like a warrior partner, right?" No one answered. Virala turned toward him. "It means your path and my path are one now." Evan felt dizzy. "I don't even know your path." The battlefield tension broke when the blue-armored leader gave a sharp shout and retreated with his soldiers, furious but unwilling to break a sacred ritual. His voice echoed across the ruined ground. "This is not over, Virala. A human is not worthy of the bond." They disappeared into the smoke. Evan exhaled shakily. "That guy really hates me." Virala responded softly, "He envied my strength, and now he believes you stole it." "Me? I didn't steal anything. I just opened my mouth." Virala looked almost amused. "Human mouths start many wars." Evan groaned. "Great. Perfect." The red-armored commander approached Evan, bowing slightly. "Human, you must come with us. The council must confirm your bond before the clans tear each other apart." Evan frowned. "Can I say no?" Virala answered before the commander could. "If you refuse, it is seen as rejecting the bond. They will execute both of us." Evan opened his mouth, then closed it again. "All right," he said finally. "I guess. We go." Virala stepped closer, almost protectively. "Stay near me. Some do not accept humans." Evan wanted to say, "Yeah, I noticed," but he kept quiet as they began walking across the battlefield. The ship that watched him, a massive Virac warship, hovered above the valley like a dark mountain in the sky. Hundreds of glowing eyes, cameras and sensors were locked on Evan. Everywhere he went, he heard whispers. The human who bound Virala. Is he dangerous? Is he powerful? He claimed her with a single word. Evan whispered to Virala, "Why do they act like I'm some kind of king?" Virala looked straight ahead as they walked. Because you did what no alien has done for 7 centuries. You bonded a huntress with a single desire word. They see you as unstoppable. Evan nearly tripped. Unstoppable? I can't even jog without coughing. Virala glanced at him. Your weakness is your strength. That doesn't make any sense. To us. It does. Inside the warship interior was dark, glowing with blue energy veins across the walls. Soldiers stepped aside as Evan walked. No one dared to block Virala's path. She stayed one step ahead of him, her injured arm bleeding slightly. Evan noticed and whispered, "You're hurt." Virala nodded. "Your acceptance kept me moving." "That's not good. You need medical help." But Virala shook her head. "Later. First, I must show you what the bond means." Evan stopped walking. "Show me how." Virala placed her hand on a glowing console. A soft hum filled the room. Her armor opened slightly at the chest and shoulders, exposing glowing blue lines across her skin lines that pulsed in rhythm with her heartbeat. Evan's eyes widened. "What is that?" "The soul line," she said. "Every Vyrek warrior has one. It connects our life to our purpose." Suddenly, the blue lines flickered, then changed color. They turned faint silver. Evan stepped back. "What does silver mean?" Virala met his eyes. "It means the soul line has accepted you." "What? Me? How?" Your voice woke something in it. Your vow changed it. Evan's hands shook. This is crazy." Virala touched the glowing lines gently. "Our bond is not just words. It is now life. If I fall, you fall. If you fall, I fall." Evan felt a heavy chill run through him. Oh God. I didn't know humans and aliens could even connect like that. Virala's expression softened. No one has ever tried. Humans speak from the heart. We follow the heart. That is why the clan fears you. Evan whispered, "I never wanted power." Virala stepped closer. "That is why you deserve it." The new danger before Evan could respond. Alarms began ringing across the ship. Red lights flashed. Soldiers rushed to battle positions. The commander shouted, "The blue armored clan is attacking. They want the bond broken." Virala turned sharply to Evan. "Stay behind me. The clan will try to kill you first." Evan's voice trembled. "Why always me?" Virala lowered her helmet and gripped her spear. "Because you carry my life now." The doors opened with a roar of engines and shouting soldiers. The war had already begun again. But this time, Evan wasn't just a frightened technician. He was part of something ancient. Something dangerous. Something unstoppable. He was bound. The alarms kept screaming through the warship, turning the blue glow of the corridors into flashing red. Evan felt like the walls themselves were panicking. Soldiers ran past him with heavy steps, weapons ready, armor plates locking into place. The entire ship was preparing for war. Virala stood in front of Evan, tall and unbroken, her damaged arm still bleeding but her posture strong like steel. She lowered her spear into a defensive stance. "Stay close," she said firmly. "They will attack fast." Evan's heart hammered in his chest. "You mean they're attacking just because of me?" Virala looked back with sharp eyes. "Not because of you. Because of what you represent now." "What do I represent?" "I don't represent anything. I'm a technician." She replied without hesitation. "You represent a bond that should be impossible." Before Evan could argue, an explosion shook the entire hallway. Dust fell from the ceiling. A section of the wall blew inward, and blue armored warriors stormed in through the smoke. Their leader, the same one who attacked, earlier stepped forward with burning eyes. "Virala, the bond ends tonight." Virala pushed Evan behind a metal pillar. "Stay hidden. Do not move unless I call you." Evan whispered, "Please don't die." She didn't look back. "I won't, not while you breathe." And then she charged. The war in the hallway, the clash was brutal. Sparks exploded as Virala's spear met the enemy's curved blade. Their movements were fast, almost too fast for Evan's eyes. Every strike echoed like thunder in the confined corridor. Blue-armored warriors tried to rush past Virala and reach Evan, but she blocked every path. She fought like a wall of fire, fierce and unstoppable. The enemy leader shouted, "Break her! Kill the human, and the bond dies with him." That line made Evan freeze. They weren't just trying to win. They wanted him dead. Virala's voice roared back, "You will not touch him." She spun, striking two enemies at once. Her spear glowed with energy as she blocked, slashed, and countered with deadly precision. But Evan noticed something terrifying. Her soul line, the glowing silver lines across her skin, flickered every time he panicked. And right now, he was very panicked. Her steps faltered. Her breathing grew sharp. Her movements slowed. Evan whispered, "Virala, something's wrong." She didn't answer. She kept fighting, but her arm trembled as if someone was pulling her strength away. The commander suddenly appeared behind Evan and grabbed his shoulder. "Human, you must calm yourself. Your fear weakens her." "What? How?" "Your bond is shared. Your emotions flow into her. Control yourself if you want her to survive." Evan forced himself to breathe slow, steady, deeper. His fear cooled slightly. Instantly, Virala's soul line brightened. Her strength returned like a rising flame. She surged forward, knocking three enemies back. Evan whispered, "You can do this. I'm here. I'm not scared." Each word made the silver glow stronger. The enemy's plan. The enemy leader retreated a step, frustrated. "This is foolish. She binds herself to a weak creature." Virala snarled, "He is not weak. He is chosen." The enemy leader pointed at Evan. "Then let us test this human bond." He raised a small device and slammed it into the floor. The ground shook. A cage of energy exploded around Evan, trapping him inside. Virala screamed, "Evan!" Evan slammed his hands against the energy field. "Virala, I'm okay." But she wasn't. Her soul line flickered violently. She stumbled. Her spear fell to the floor. The enemy leader smiled darkly. "If the human is separated from you, you fall." Virala dropped to one knee, shaking. Evan shouted desperately, "Virala, stay with me. Don't listen to him." The commander grabbed the tool from his armor and began smashing it against the cage, trying to break it. But the blue-armored leader only stepped closer to Virala. "You kneel again, Virala. Twice in one day. How far you've fallen." Virala tried to stand, but her legs trembled. Her voice came weak. Not broken." He lifted his blade to strike. Evan felt something burning in his chest. Anger, fear, desperation. He slammed his fists into the energy cage so hard it burned his skin. "Stop! Don't touch her." And then it happened. The cage flickered. Not because of the commander's tool, but because the bond reacted to Evan's emotion. The silver glow around Virala shot up like lightning. The cage shattered into pieces. Evan stumbled out coughing. But he didn't hide. He ran straight toward Virala and stood in front of her, spreading his arms. The entire hallway went silent. Even the enemy leader froze. Evan screamed, "You want the bond? You want the human? Here I am." The silver glow from Virala flowed into Evan like shining threads of light, wrapping around him like armor. The enemy leader stepped back, shocked. Impossible. A human cannot carry the soul line. But Evan did. He stood tall, trembling but brave. Virala lifted her head slowly, looking at him with awe. "Evan, you accepted more than you know." And then she rose again, stronger than before. Together with him. The hallway battle wasn't over, but the galaxy now knew. The bond between human and huntress was real. And it would not break. For a moment, the battlefield hallway was completely silent. The blue armored enemies stared at Evan like he was something impossible, something unnatural. The silver glow from Virala's soul line wrapped around his body like living threads of light. He felt warmth, strength, and something deeper like a heartbeat that wasn't his own. Virala stood beside him now, steadier, stronger. The bond had pulled her back from collapse. The enemy leader pointed his blade at Evan, voice trembling with frustration. No human should hold a soul line. This breaks every law. Evan, shaking but refusing to back down, raised his voice. Your laws didn't stop you from trying to kill both of us. The blue armored warriors hesitated. None dared to attack again. The shared glow between human and huntress was something they had never seen before. Virala took one step forward. Her voice was calm, deadly soft. You tried to break the bond by force. That is the highest dishonor. The enemy leader bared his teeth. The Virak Council will end this corruption. A human cannot be bonded. The commander in red armor finally spoke up, stepping between both sides. Enough. The council will decide. But until then, the bond stays protected. He placed a hand on Evan's shoulder. Human, come. The council demands your presence. Evan swallowed hard. Great, the space government. My favorite. The walk to the council hall. Evan and Virala were escorted through long corridors glowing with blue energy lines. Soldiers whispered as they passed. The bond is real. The soul line accepted him. Is he dangerous? Or chosen? Evan leaned closer to Virala and muttered, Why does everyone act like I'm some cosmic king? Virala answered quietly, Because no one has ever shared a soul line before. Our people believe only great destiny can cause this. Evan rubbed his face. I'm not destiny. I'm just. Evan, but Virala shook her head gently. Your words woke something ancient. Destiny chose you. Evan didn't have time to argue, because the doors to the council hall opened. Inside the Virak Council, the chamber looked like a giant metallic cathedral. High ceilings. Glowing lines across the walls. Thousands of carved clan symbols. At the center stood a round platform, surrounded by 12 armored elders, gigantic figures. Old, powerful, and terrifying. As Evan stepped onto the platform, every elder's eyes focused on him. 12 alien commanders, all staring at a single human. A deep voice echoed, Human, state your name. Evan Hale, he said, trying not to sound like someone about to faint. Another elder leaned forward. You accept the desire bond? Evan's voice cracked. Yes. I accept it. Gasps spread across the council. One elder slammed his staff. Why? Humans avoid our rituals. Why accept a bond that can kill you? Evan took a breath. This was the moment. He had to speak honestly. Because she chose me. Because she protected me. Because she knelt for me. Because I didn't want her to die for a stupid joke I made. The room went silent. He continued, louder now. I didn't choose this. But now that it happened, I'll take responsibility. I'll stand with her. Virala lowered her head. Touched by his words, the elders whispered among themselves. The accusation suddenly. The doors slammed open. The blue armored leader entered with his warriors. Elders, this bond is a danger. A human cannot lead our strongest huntress. Evan groaned. You again? Don't you have work to do? The leader ignored him. The soul line must be removed by force. Break the bond and execute the human before this spreads. Evan whispered to Virala, Wow. Your people love me. Virala didn't smile. They fear you. The lead elder raised his staff. The human will speak last. Then we decide. Evan felt his throat tighten. Evan's words that shocked the galaxy. The elders turned to him. Human, tell us why you deserve Virala. And why this bond should live. Evan could have lied. He could have made himself sound strong or noble, but humans were different. So he told the truth. I don't deserve her. The hall gasped. Evan continued, but she deserves someone who won't run away. Someone who sees her strength. Someone who respects her life and her choice. He pointed at the blue-armored warriors. You call me weak. Fine, I'm weak. But weakness isn't shame. Weakness is what makes people fight harder. Even Virala stared at him now, eyes wide. She protected me because that's who she is. And I'll protect her because that's who I want to be. Evan stepped forward boldly. If that scares you, maybe that's the real reason you want the bond broken. The council hall fell into deep silence. The elders slowly turned their heads toward each other. Virala whispered, voice full of emotion, Evan, your words move them. That is rare. The lead elder lifted his staff. The council will vote. Evan held his breath. Virala held her spear. 2 warriors held their hatred. And 12 alien elders prepared to decide the future of a bond that should never have existed. Council hall felt colder than before. Evan stood in the center, surrounded by 12 alien elders whose glowing eyes watched him without blinking. Their armor reflected the silver soul line light still wrapped around him. The air felt heavy, like the room itself wanted to crush him. The lead elder raised his staff. The council's vote is divided. Some accept the bond. Some reject it. Evan's chest tightened. Virala stepped forward. Elders, the bond is complete. There is no dishonor. But the elder continued, voice echoing, when the council cannot agree, the trial of desire must decide. The words dropped like stone. Virala stiffened. No, he is human. He cannot survive the trial. Evan swallowed. What trial? The elder answered calmly, 3 tests, mind, fear, blood. Evan's eyes widened. Blood? Why is there always blood? The blue-armored leader smirked. Excellent. Let the human prove he is worthy of a warrior's loyalty. Virala moved in front of Evan instantly, blocking him with her entire body. He will not take the trial. I offer myself in his place. The lead elder shook his head. Your offering is denied. The vow was spoken by him. Only he can face the trials. Virala's jaw tightened. Her voice trembled, not in fear, but in rage. If he dies, I die with him. Evan touched her arm gently. Virala, it's okay. No, she whispered. A human is not built for these trials. Evan looked at the elders. What happens if I pass? The elder's eyes glowed brighter. Then the bond stands forever. And if I fail? Virala answered softly. We both die. Evan sucked in a breath. Oh, wonderful. But he didn't step back. Instead, he stepped forward. I accept the trial. Trial 1. The mind cage. The elders brought him to a circular chamber filled with floating silver rings. Each ring hummed with a strange vibration. Evan touched one, and instantly the room duplicated into thousands of mirrored reflections. A voice filled the chamber. Trial of mind. Escape the labyrinth. Every lie you believe slows your steps. Evan blinked. What does that mean? Suddenly, illusions formed. Evan standing alone, Evan kneeling, Evan failing, Evan being mocked by aliens, Evan lost in empty space. Each one whispered doubts. You are weak. No alien respects you. You don't belong here. She will die because of you. Evan froze. Then he whispered, No. I'm not falling for this. He closed his eyes. I'm scared, yes. But I'm not useless. The illusions cracked. He took a breath and walked straight forward. Each step made the illusions shatter like glass. The chamber doors opened. Trial 2. The room of fear. The second room was even worse. The doors slammed shut behind him. Everything went dark except a faint red glow beneath his feet. A voice echoed, Trial of fear. Face what your heart hides. Shapes appeared. Fast, Silent, a shadow monster towered over him. Its teeth like blades. Its growl like thunder. Evan stepped back. Then another fear appeared, Virala collapsing, bleeding, dying because of him. Then another humans being hunted. Then another him standing alone in an endless void. He trembled. His breath grew shallow, but he whispered, "I'm afraid." And that's okay. The shadows hesitated. He stepped forward toward them, shaking but refusing to run. Fear doesn't make me weak. Running would. The shadows crumbled like dust. The doors slid open again. Trial 3, the blood-packed Virala waited outside the entrance to the final chamber. When Evan stepped out alive, her eyes widened with disbelief. "Evan, you passed the first two? Humans are not meant." He cut her off with a small smile. "Yeah, well, humans surprise people." She almost smiled back, but the third trial wiped the warmth from her face. A stone platform rose in the center of the room. A glowing blade lay on top a ritual weapon, made for cutting soul lines. The elder announced, "Trial of blood. If you offer blood willingly, the bond is sealed through sacrifice." Evan hesitated. "You mean, cut myself?" Virala grabbed his arm. "No, the blade is dangerous. It can wound your very life thread." The elder warned. Only those worthy can touch the blade and survive. The blue-armored leader smirked. "Let us see if the human bleeds like a warrior, or dies like a coward." Evan stepped to the platform. His hands shook. His chest tightened, but he lifted the blade anyway. For a second, nothing happened. Then the blade glowed silver. It reacted to the bond. Virala gasped. "It accepts him." Evan pressed the blade lightly across his palm. Wincing as blood dripped onto the stone, the chamber erupted in a blinding flash. The soul line surged between Evan and Virala like lightning, stronger than before. Brighter than ever, the elder slammed his staff. "The human survives. The bond is real." Virala stepped to Evan, voice soft with awe. "You risked everything." "For me," Evan smiled weakly. "I told you. I'll stand with you." The trial of desire was complete, but the galaxy wasn't finished with them yet. The council hall glowed with a strange, silver light after the trial of desire ended. The elders watched in silence as the soul line connected Evan and Virala, stronger than ever before. No flicker, no break. Only one steady pulse running between human and huntress. Evan's injured hand still bled slightly from the ritual blade, but he didn't care. He stood tall beside Virala, who kept close, her eyes burning with a mix of pride, relief, and something softer. The lead elder raised his staff. "The human has passed all trials. The bond stands." Murmurs spread through the chamber like ripples. "Impossible. A human survived the soul blade. The bond is real." The blue-armored warriors looked shaken. Their leader clenched his fists, refusing to bow. "This bond is a danger. A threat to our culture." Virala stepped forward, spear in hand. "The only threat here is your fear." Her voice echoed across the hall. "You fear humans because they are different. You fear me because I chose one." Evan watched her with awe. She wasn't just defending him, she was standing against her entire clan's tradition. The enemy leader pointed at Evan. "He is weak." Evan opened his mouth, ready to say something stupid again, but Virala lifted her hand to silence him. Her golden eyes sharpened. "Weakness is not shame. Weakness lets a warrior learn. Weakness lets a warrior grow." She stepped closer to Evan, letting the silver soul line glow between them. He faced fears that would crush many warriors. He held the soul blade without breaking. He walked through trials meant to kill. Her voice grew louder, stronger, and he never lied. "Not once." Evan blinked. "Is that a compliment? Or a warning?" Virala ignored his whisper. The blue-armored leader stepped back, angry but unsure. The elders exchanged glances. Finally, the lead elder spoke. The bond is approved. Evan exhaled in relief. Virala closed her eyes for a moment, letting the weight of all this fall from her shoulders. But the elder wasn't finished. Evan Hale of Earth. You are now the first human recognized by Virac law. You share life and destiny with Huntress Virala. Evan's heart raced. Virala turned to him, her voice softer. It means you are not alone anymore. You walk with me. And I walk with you. He nodded quietly. But peace never comes that easy. The blue-armored leader refused to accept defeat. He shouted, "This bond destroys order. This human will twist our traditions." He raised his weapon, but before he could charge, Virala moved like lightning. She spun her spear and pointed it straight at his throat. Her voice dropped into a deadly whisper. "Touch him, and you start a war your clan will not survive." The leader froze. The council hall went completely silent. For the first time, Evan understood. Virala wasn't surrendering to him anymore. She was standing with him. The blue-armored commander lowered his weapon slowly. Rage remained in his eyes, but even he knew he couldn't win here. Today. He stepped back. "Fists tight. This isn't over." He retreated, his warriors following. The elders dismissed the gathering. After the storm, Evan walked beside Virala through the quiet hallway outside the council. His legs were shaking from exhaustion, but he still managed to smile. "Hey, we survived. That's something." Virala looked at him with soft eyes. "Evan, you did more than survive." She touched her chest where her soul line pulsed. "You changed the bond. You changed me." Evan let out a tired laugh. "I was just trying not to die." Virala stepped closer. "Yet you spoke truth when others would lie. You faced fear instead of running. You risked your life for mine." She lowered her head slightly. "No warrior has ever done that for me." Evan blinked. "I didn't do it because of some ritual. I did it because you didn't deserve to die for a joke." Virala smiled, a real smile, soft and warm. "Something rare for a Virac huntress. Your joke became my destiny." The silver soul line between them glowed brighter. As if agreeing, a new beginning. A commander approached with a datapad. "Human Evan, Virala, the council requests you both report tomorrow. There is talk of forming a new human Virac alliance." Evan stared. "Alliance? Me? Why me?" Virala answered simply, "Because you did what no alien ever could. You touched a warrior's soul. With only words." He scratched his head. "Well, humans are good at saying weird things." She gently placed her hand on his shoulder. "And I will walk beside you, wherever this bond leads." Evan nodded. He didn't know what tomorrow would bring. He didn't know why destiny had thrown him into the life of a warrior huntress. But one thing was clear. He wasn't just a technician anymore. He was someone's strength. Someone's bond. Someone's chosen. And in a galaxy full of warriors, armies, and ancient laws, a single human joke had changed everything.